All right, folks, what did we learn from day one of our problem solving video? Well, let's see. Step one, identify the problem. If you don't even know what the problem is, how are you going to fix it? Step two, develop courses of action or a course of action. Now, to me, that's a pretty simple concept. I mean, for example, if something broke, the course of action obviously is to fix it, and the steps to that course of action is how are we going to get to the point of fixing it. So once we've identified the problem, then we can come up with the solution, which is to repair it. It could be replace a part, whatever. So pretty simple concept. If you go into the big theories of problem solving, you know, they'll tell you all these steps about develop your course of action or develop your solutions, your plan, etc. You can call it whatever you want, but it's simple. Come up with the plan of how you're going to deal with the problem, how you're going to solve it. And if you have multiple ideas of how to solve it, then you're going to evaluate those ideas and pick the best one. So these are actual steps in problem solving, but to me, they're just common sense. It's not like you're going to go, okay, let's develop several ideas on how to solve our problem and pick the worst one. That's just dumb. Nobody does that. And if you're on a homestead, chances are you've got common sense. Now, I know if you're in the city and you're used to paying for everything to be done and you don't do nothing yourself, then chances are you don't have any common sense. Maybe you got some, maybe you don't. But I'll tell you my experience, and I live in the city, unfortunately still, is that common sense is damn near extinct. You can't find it in very many places. Just look around. Watch the news sometime. Look at the stuff people do. Yeah, common sense damn near extinct. But if you're on a homestead and you're successful at it, then you got some common sense, because there ain't no other way you can do it. You can't run around on the homestead being stupid. Stupid don't work on the homestead. Stupid will get you killed on the homestead. Stupid will get you hurt, get you lost. Reminds me of one of them Hollywood movie stars or rappers or somebody that bought some property in, I think it was in California, and they were out exploring their property after they had bought it. I guess they had, you know, like a mansion and some acreage. I think it was like 40 acres. And they literally walked out on their property and they got lost. And they were lost all day on the property, couldn't find themselves. And they finally called 911 for help, and the police had to come save them. That's just the funniest thing ever to me. I mean, I got 100 acres here and I couldn't get lost on it. Why? Because I know which way is north, which means if you know which way is north, I also know which way is south, which way is east, and which way is west. So I know the directions, I know my property, I know where the fences are. I mean, it would be impossible for me to get lost on this property. I'd have to like have dementia or something, and that's a different case. But just walking out on your property and getting lost, sorry, that's just stupid. Can't fix stupid. All right, so moving along, we got our steps. We got step one, identify the problem. Step two, develop a course of action. So we did all that. Now the other caveat that I got to enter in there is once you choose a course of action and you start working on it, as we learned yesterday, remain flexible. Be prepared for any project that you're working on to snowball. You know, we could call it the Homestead effect practically, because I'm telling you, every job, it always seems to snowball and one job leads to another, and you never run out of stuff to do. Well, that's part of the reason why I'm here. I can go back to the city and sit on the couch. As a retired guy, I can sit on the couch and do nothing, watch TV, and wait to die. But I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna come out here, live in the country, stay busy doing stuff, avoid planting my butt on the couch, and just keep on living, having fun. I honestly don't mind doing all this stuff. To me, the challenge of solving problems, the challenge of fixing stuff, whatever, that's you know, fun. It's part of living. It means your brain's still working, shows you that, it's proof. So, you know, another thing you might wonder, why am I always fixing stuff? Why is stuff always breaking? Well, I ain't rich. You know, we bought a lottery ticket the other day and we didn't win a dang thing. Only got one number, so it wasn't meant to be there. So I'm pretty much accepting of the idea that I ain't never gonna be rich. I ain't gonna be a multi-millionaire where I can afford new equipment. And you know what? If you ever talk to anybody that's got new equipment, guess what? It breaks too. People gotta work on it. And the difference is, if you're doing warranty work or something, you know, you gotta either haul it to the dealer to get it fixed, or you gotta wait on them to come fix it. You know, one way or the other, it's gonna take more time. I buy old stuff that I can afford, and old stuff, yeah, some of it's damn near wore out. That tractor I got, the loader on that thing is damn near wore out. I mean, it's been beat to crap. The tractor's good. Don't really have any big issues with the tractor, a few minor things, but the loader itself is about wore out. So somebody used it hard in the past. But we keep it going, you know, we rebuild it, whatever, keep it going. This old excavator, I don't know what year this thing is, but I mean, it's used. And, you know, we got a rat in there, chewed stuff up, so that ain't exactly that it broke. It was sabotaged by rodents. We was attacked. So yeah, I know there's things I can do. You know, someday we'll get some barn cats, whatever, that'll help. But we got some challenges. I mean, number one, so I was just gone for over a month. I couldn't leave cats out here without nobody to feed them or anything for over a month. That wouldn't be nice. The other thing is, we got a lot of predators. We got bobcats, foxes, coyotes, etc. And you know, some of our neighbors, their cats haven't fared well, so it's got to be just the right cat. It can't be just a basic house cat. It's got to be a no kidding barn cat that, you know, can survive somewhat in the wild, understands predators, has that instinct, etc. So it'll be a while before we get a cat like that. And then, of course, you know, I've heard about all kind of other remedies. I mean, we got some little bags from Tractor Supply of some kind of rodent repellent. And I have thrown them in a lot of my vehicles and stuff, but apparently I forgot to throw one in this thing. And if I do throw one in here, you know, I probably would have thrown it in the back, whereas the first place I looked, because that's where we had a rodent problem in the past. And this time it was just fine. So maybe I wouldn't have even thought to put one up here in the cab, who knows. But I've heard about other remedies, dryer sheets, and even Irish Spring soap. So if any of y'all have had success with those kind of remedies, let me know in the comments. Let me know that different ideas that you got that you can throw in over the winter to repel the rodents. Now, whatever was in here, I suspect a pack rat, it's gone now. Why? Because in the summertime, this thing, you can imagine, you know, reaches well over 100 degrees inside, sitting out here in the sun, not being run. So they don't want that kind of heat, so they go back to the outdoors in the summer. They just look for a place to hold up in the winter time, and that's why they got in here. So it is what it is, but you know, let us know if you got ideas and solutions to help us out in the future. So anyway, we're gonna get in here now, and we're gonna vacuum this thing out, and then we're gonna start splicing them wires. So that's where we're at. Stick with us. Let's see how it goes. Well, if I didn't mention it, after you identify your course of action, choose the plan, you got to execute the plan. Again, common sense. So let's just say identify the problem, identify a course of action, execute the plan. Once you execute the plan, which I have done, I've gone through all the wiring and everything and spliced everything back together using butt connectors, then electrical tape to wrap everything up nice and pretty just like it used to be. Well, it's probably a lot more pretty now than it used to be, because before it was really dirty. I vacuumed, gosh, tons of dirt out of this thing this morning and rat poop and everything else, but we got it cleaned up. We executed our plan. I believe all the wiring is fixed now. There were those 2 wires that we have no idea where they went, but a closer look at the old wires suggests that they may not have been hooked to anything, because there were 2 ends that don't look chewed at all. They just look like they were cut ends, not connected to anything. So we're going to go with that, since we really looked everywhere and couldn't find any place to connect those wires. So I just taped them up and wrapped them, and you know, if we ever need them, we can find them real easy. But they're protected so that they won't short out or anything like that. So after we've done all that, the next thing we got to do is evaluate the plan, the result, the execution of the plan, etc. In other words, was it successful or not? So the only way we're going to know it's successful is we got to try and start this thing up. So I've already turned the battery key back on, so we should have power in here. Cross our fingers. Let's see what happens. Well, that's good. We got a click. Hey! She started right up. So the first thing I noticed when I turned the key on, I got a click. I didn't get that before, meaning things were powering on, probably fuel pump and stuff like that. And then it fired right up. And yeah, purrs like a kitten. Now that's what I like to see. That's how I like for this thing to run, just purring like a kitten. That's got a little Yanmar diesel in it. You know, thus far I've had it for a few years now. That's usually how it runs. It just starts right up, no problem. Purrs like a kitten. Gets the job done every time. So we've got some various hydraulic leaks and so forth on this, just real small drips. And we keep working through it little by little. Now that I've exposed the air conditioning and everything, maybe that's a project I'll do in the future. But not a project for now. For now, I need to get this thing cleaned up and get it ready to press that cylinder, which is what I started out to do in the beginning. So let's get to it. Well, folks, if you watch part 1 to this video, then you know that the problem with the excavator was a side job from working on the tractor. So our original problem that we were trying to solve was with the bucket cylinder on the tractor, that we couldn't get the main collar or gland to seat into the cylinder. So we were going to use the small excavator to push that in, to press it in, using the hydraulics on the excavator. So now that we got it fixed, let's see if our problem with the tractor can be solved with our original plan. Here we go. So first thing we got to do is start her up. I do always like that this thing starts right up and purrs like a kitten. That's why it was obvious that there was something more significant wrong when it wouldn't start before. Once we fixed the wiring, started just like that. Turn it over and she starts right up. That's the way we like it. So next thing we got to do is lift our bucket up and let's figure out a position to get this thing into where we can do what we want to do. So that's where we're at. Stick with me. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to get this thing set up. All right, so this will be our first try. Hopefully this does it. So I've got the cylinder put in and the blade up against it. It's a flat edge blade. So what I'm going to try to do is just bend the bucket down, curl it out, and see if it'll press this in. I have no idea if it'll work. We don't have a great surface area covered there. We may have to press it a little bit and then spin it around and, you know, keep working it. But let's see what happens. Try number one. Well, first try, we got it. That worked good, no damage or anything. All right, there you go. Another problem solved. We're gonna call that our redneck hydraulic press. Or should we call it a hillbilly press? I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Appreciate y'all. There you have it, folks. Problem solving in the simplest terms. Just to recap, number one, identify the problem. Number two, develop courses of action or a course of action. Of course, in there, evaluate your courses of action and obviously choose the best one. Number three, execute the plan. Number four, evaluate. Did it work? Did it not work? If it didn't work, let's go back and reevaluate how we did it, and maybe we need to adjust. Of course, in the country way, always be flexible and be prepared for things to go sideways and for one job to snowball into another. Don't leave things undone. And always remember, wherever you are, and especially at back to country, there ain't no quit here, so we're gonna get her done. So it doesn't matter if you're in the backwoods of Kentucky or if you're some corporate yahoo, and I mean that as a term of endearment. This technique works, so you can pay thousands of dollars to bring in somebody and teach problem solving to your corporate group, or you can watch this video for free. Either way, it's up to you. Common sense says, hell, you ought to use this video. As always, folks, we appreciate you watching and really love you for supporting our channel. Don't forget to leave comments, of course. We love that. And we're going to keep on spreading our leadership experience amongst our homestead challenges. So keep coming back, subscribe, and see what tidbit we got to share next, or just see what we got going on. regardless, take care. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.